It's an insane policy. Was never the policy. The idea was if you had a secure border, then the people who are having babies in the country would be legitimate because the border would be secure. Watch them in their orders and opinions and decisions literally delete the comma. They just delete this comma and they make this one entire run-on sentence. No president can change the 14th Amendment's fundamental promise of citizenship. Well, it's not a fundamental promise of citizenship for illegal aliens, Wang. Supreme Court accepted the Birthright Citizenship petition for a writ of certiorari, baby. We're happy to hear this because we've got a big problem with the integrity of our country. And birthright citizenship is part of the trifecta. We got to close the border. We've done that largely. We've got to have deportations. We're working on that. We've got to have a new census with better congressional apportionment. And we've got to have birthright citizenship so that the illegals who are here are not ultimately grandfathered in to become citizens on the backs of their illegal parents. So it's a forfecta. But here, this is a big one. So the Supreme Court is going to accept it. We're waiting for this decision. This is a big one. SCOTUS has said Friday that it will decide the legality of Trump's executive order that seeks to end birthright citizenship, which automatically grants citizenship to anyone born in the United States. Geographically, come in, violate the law, say we reject your sovereignty because we're not honoring your rules. But as long as we make it in, as long as we're like in the end zone and our baby plops out, boom, that's a citizen. We get a windfall. We get a benefit for having broken your laws. It's an insane policy. Was never the policy. The idea was if you had a secure border, then the people who are having babies in the country would be legitimate because the border would be secure. But of course that failed. And so birthright citizenship, which was never interpreted, in our opinion, or has been interpreted, but should have never been interpreted as being just geographically based, was a ridiculous interpretation because there's a comma in the 14th Amendment that says, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Subject to the jurisdiction thereof means you're acquiescing to the jurisdiction of the authority of the nation state. These people have not. They've broken in, overstayed their visas, whatever. They're here unlawfully, and they do not get the benefit of that breach. Issued at the start of the second term, the plan is the first from Mr. Trump's immigration agenda that the Supreme Court will evaluate on the legal merits. They've been asked to intervene in other things, but they did so at early stages. This is a bigger one. No lower court has been confronted with legal challenges to the birthright citizenship order, has embraced the Trump administration. They're all going against him because it has been the pattern in practice where it's just geography. The entire phrase, comma, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, comma, has been written out by our judges and courts. So hopefully the Supreme Court shoves it back in. Here it is quoted accurately, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Many of the lower level courts, and we have read the PDFs here on this channel, watched them in their orders and opinions and decisions, literally delete the comma. They just delete this comma and they make this one entire run-on sentence. So they just say, oh, well, yeah, I mean, if you're born in the United States and you're subject to the jurisdiction, since you're born in the United States, it's a conjunctive sentence. There's no two phrases that need legal analysis. It's just one big run-on sentence. And so they've been perverting it this entire time. She said somebody, Cecilia Wang, she came out. She works for the ACLU. Of course she does. She came out. She said, no president can change the 14th Amendment's fundamental promise of citizenship. Well, it's not a fundamental promise of citizenship for illegal aliens, Wang. For over 150 years, they've said that it is, Wang said. Well, we're going to see, Wang. Now, the Supreme Court will be weighing in on that, and we're very excited to see what they come down with soon. Arguments are expected to take place next year, with a decision likely to be issued by the end of June or early July. So all these babies between now and then who are getting popped out from all of our foreign invaders are all going to be automatic citizens, presumably, since the stay is still in effect. So it's going to be a good one, and we'll see what happens, but we're excited about this one. We want oral arguments, and I think the Supreme Court has a real good shot at reversing it, because even if you go back to the Wong Kim Ark case, right, if you Wikipedia that one and read through that decision, that was the seminal case that they hang their hats on this one. But the facts of that case were Wong Kim Ark's parents were lawful permanent residents. They were not citizens, but they were here legally before they had their baby. And they said that he was a citizen. This is distinguishing that, and the Supreme Court can weigh in. And what kind of insane country allows you to break the law and then get benefits for having broken the law? America! That's what kind of insane country does.